Well, hey there, YouTube, and welcome back to Mailbag. What's in the mailbag with Petey? So today, I went and ran some errands with my old lady, and we were in the Salvation Army. Had these weed handkerchiefs for 99 cents. Of course, the one that I picked had a flaw, a big, like a white splotch where there was like threads hanging out of it. And I didn't notice that. My wife's like, don't you want to get a good one? So, she's always saving the day. My wife does such a fantastic job. So I'm in there, and back where the electronics is, the DVD aisle is there. So there's DVDs, and there's lamps on top of the DVDs, and then there's the electronics. Now the outlet for testing stuff is right there. And that's always a point of contention. There's always people back there passing gas, or like special needs people looking at the DVDs. Something about people that have psychological issues or mental health issues. They like to collect DVDs. So if you're looking to have small talk with some crazy people, I recommend you head down to your Salvation Army and go in the back by the DVDs. And there was a guy, he had hockey, the Trinkenton Crinksters, some town and a team I'd never heard of. Fry-Lonkel Crinkles. So he's like, are you going to the game? He started talking, and then this woman, an older woman that had on a lot of eye makeup and like a halter top, she was like, are you talking about hockey? And he was like, no, I'm talking about the Trinketon Fry-Linkles. And then she was like, oh. And I was like, no, he's talking about hockey, because I didn't want to talk to him. So I'm standing there, I've got my arm, I'm leaning up against the wall, and I'm looking at the thing that, whatever I was plugging in to the outlet to test. This woman, short woman, comes up with her son, and she goes to me, I don't know if you're just standing here talking, but he wants to look at the DVD, so you need to. She starts doing this to me, and I'm not even in on this conversation anymore. I already bailed on it. So I was like, I'm not standing in front of the DVDs. So he is more than welcome to look at the DVDs, and I'm not the one involved in the conversation. So if you're gonna yell at somebody, yell at these two, because I'm out of this. I could not believe he wants to look at the DVD, so you all need to move. And, okay, that guy had a cart. I didn't have a cart. I'm standing there. I'm not in the DVD section. Anyway, yeah, I lost my cool. I didn't yell at her, but I said, I never in my entire life. I said, that's what I said. I said, how incredibly rude. And I never in my entire life. So then we saw her again, and I said to Donna, watch out, here she comes. She might want to be looking at the weed handkerchiefs, we got to, here she comes. So, yeah, we did make a purchase. Mind you, this would be for my grandson, Joey. My grandson is Joey. I'm not allowed to say his real name. Where's the strap?
I don't know. What'd you do with it? Kitchen?
I put it on the pile of junk. By the way, this is Mailbag. Besides just me complaining about resale shopping, customer etiquette. Never get in somebody's face. And I had one guy, he smelled so bad, this guy, And he said I was camping out. I was in the hardware aisle where they have like trays full of screws and stuff. I mean, it takes a while to look through the hardware section. And he had a cart full of stuff. It was literally overflowing. Like, dude, you've been here for at least an hour. Now all of a sudden you're all cutting them and passing gas and all nervous because I'm looking at something. And like, every customer has the right to look at what they want to look at. Mind you, you should be polite and don't go, excuse me, when you come through your cart if there's a guy pressing his body up against the wall. Like, I literally press my body up against, I don't stand out at arm length and go, here I am in my section. I cram myself up against the wall. And whenever I pick something up to look at it, here she comes, excuse me! You know, like, lady, I have a back injury, you know? What do you need me to do? I cannot transform into something thinner for you. I have just as a right to the next guy to be standing in the resale store. And if I go there and there's a guy in electronics, guess what? I leave. I go to hardware, I go to toys, I go wherever else I'm going to go and wait till he's done. It's called waiting your turn. I never go and confront people because it's not your right. You know what I mean? It's like, and why are you going to be a dick in a resale store? Like, literally, it's a place you should be in a good mood because you're going through other people's garbage and getting it at a pretty fair price usually. So there's no reason to be a dick in the resale store, you know? And even like today, there was a group of teenage girls and then some older women, and they were all in the men's clothes section. This is the thing, girls of a certain age will buy men's clothing, and they're all up in the, and I'm not going to go like, hey, I don't go to the bra aisle when you're in there, but I want to. I'm just saying, be nice when you're in the resale store. So yeah, we got this. It was $10. It's got a built-in amp. It had stickers on it, and I removed the bridge. We installed a new battery. I waxed it. I did the fret ends, filed the fret ends, cleaned the frets with steel wool. I have these little things you put down over the fret so to protect the fret guards, I guess they're called. And the frets were really oxidized. They did not look like that. It's got this headphone jack. There's an on-off button and a volume knob. Now, I had some 10s, 10 through 46, like a K-line or some weird set. Anyway, this is for my grandson. His name is not Joey, but my wife thinks that there's pedophiles that are going to get my grandson.
Nobody needs to know his name. That's not
fiddle
important.
and diddle him if I say his name on my YouTube channel. So yeah, somebody else might want to be. Maybe we should have got two of these.
Yeah.
Somebody's. So yeah, this thing here. Now, how old is Joey?
2.
Joey is 2. And that's like perfect for, this is like really for like a 5 or 6-year-old. I will give this to him for Christmas. This will be his main gift. It'll come with a strap, a set of some picks, and we have this case. Now, again, this is going to be an episode of Mailbag, what's in the mailbag with Petey? But first, I wanted to show off my Goodwill haul. There are still some little dings in that guitar. I touched them up. I had some like Krylon all-in-one primer paint. Anyway, I figured we could go take a look over at the photographs that I took. Initially, the first act guitar was turning on and shutting itself off right away, and there is no solder on these pads here. Also, this pad here, there's no solder here. This is the switch right here, okay? Now, are these... I don't really understand. Like, is this NC here? No connection? I do know that the unit was intermittent. It would barely come on. You would have to like hit the switch, the LED would light up and then it would die out. So I wedged this paper towel under it and we took these pictures. I said, okay, well, here's 3 points where I could put some solder on, and maybe that would be helpful to get this thing to work. And the reason I've got this paper towel is I'm going to spray some solvent on this board and then scrub it with a set. We went to the dollar store and they have these sets of bristle brushes. There's a black plastic bristle brush, a steel colored bristle brush, like a toothbrush size, a little bigger than a toothbrush, and then a brass looking scrub brush. So I used the plastic scrubby, and here is my Ronson bottle that has been swirl dipped. I had some leftover paint when I did a swirl dip, and I swirl dipped this Ronson bottle. I absolutely love it. But like I said, this is some, what do you call that stuff that's in the green bottle?
Naphtha?
Naphtha. And maybe a little alcohol mixed in with it, but it's naphtha, and it's a great solvent, and it smells really wonderful. So yeah, this was part of the process of me trying to repair this board, cleaning it up. It looked kind of fouled and oxidized, so I cleaned it up, and it works now. It ended up working. You can turn it on and you can turn it off. So yeah, it's got this cool little string guard here. Tuners aren't the best, but you know what? Neither is the guitar. And this is basically a guitar-shaped object. This is a toy. It's supposed to teach the kid the basics about tuning and an amplifier, pickups, and get him started on the Jones for wanting a real guitar is the idea on this one. So it's $10, maybe $11 we paid for it, I think. And you know, my buddy Gary, R.I.P. Gary, he had something like this. His younger brother had a Sensonics guitar, black Sears. I think they had bought it from Sears Roebuck at the Chicago Ridge Mall, if you know where that is. And I actually wrote a song that we were playing on the family band Mach 6 on that guitar. So yeah, this is the little first act that I got for my grandson. Here now you can see I have went ahead and soldered this, a little bit too much solder here, but sue me. And interestingly enough, like in here on this side, you see that mark there? That's from a wood screw that's screwed in at an angle. That's how this is held in. See, there's a jack here, a headphone jack, and in order to avoid that pushing in, they just pre-drill a hole at an angle inside this the sidewall of this cutout, and just run like a wood screw in at a 45-degree angle, and that comes right up in here at an angle and kind of stops the board from moving. That's how it's held in place. So yeah, here you can see my horrific soldering work. And that's about it for the first act guitar. I mean, it's $10. So the retarded guy, the hockey fan, let me know that there is an open mic going on at the Frugal Views, which is in the same parking lot. He said at 5 o'clock they're gonna have free food. So we went over there. They had deep fried spring rolls, real skinny, almost like a pencil or like a Sharpie marker, and some sweet and sour sauce, and a couple of cans of pop. I had a lemonade, and then pretzels. So I made myself a plate, 3 of those spring rolls with some of that sweet sauce on there, some pretzels, and I went and sat down on this couch. There was an African-American woman, 2 other, like maybe a little bit older white ladies, and then me and Gopti. And so it was 2 guys. The dude had an acoustic and he was singing, and then the other guy had a Strat, a black Strat with a mint pickguard, and he was playing to a Magnatone amp. And he had a pedal board with, it had some kind of battery power pack on it. Really cool. It had like 5 green LEDs, like a power meter. And he was playing this Strat through this Magnatone reissue. I asked him about the amp. And playing it kind of like nice, melodic, slow soloing. He seemed like to be about the same talent and speed. Like he was a slow guitar player as me, but he had all 4 fingers. So this other guy was playing like they did some Van Morrison song I had never heard. They did a bunch of originals, and we stayed for about 4 or 5 songs, and that was really nice. I'll definitely go back. I talked to the owner. I don't think we would be a good fit for them, for Gopti and I to play. The owner was just really reserved. But look what I got. Nick Mason's personal history. This was $7. I told Gopti, I said, she's like, they got the Pink Floyd book. And I've known about this. This is the one that I want to read. And I said, how much is it? She said $6.99. I said, well, you know what? Let's get it. We ate lunch here. We had free entertainment, and I walk out, with a Pink Floyd book too. So that brings us to the moment we've all been waiting for. Mailbag. What's in the mailbag with Petey? So we got this one, and I don't know what this is. There's a party going on here. I don't know if you can hear, if that's picking up on the mic. The horrible music that they're playing at the party. What's in the mailbag today? We have been working on this pedal board last night. Oh my goodness. I don't know what got into me, but yeah, today I took the chain segments, the bicycle chain segments. They have these little cups on them, and I had to grind off the cups on one side. So I rounded up like 8 Ryobi NiCad dead batteries and took them into the AutoZone. I've been taking in these, would you mind grabbing the channel locks? So we go in there and I throw these 2 bags of these batteries down on the thing and I go,
Don't lose the name also.
I said, these are, they're lead batteries. You'll take them. And he goes, we'll take them off your hands, but we can't give you store credit. And I'm just like, I can't believe it. He's like, you called, you said that you had a deep cell. And I was like, no, that was last week. We brought a marine battery in. And he goes, wait a minute. Are you Susie's parents? Susie's not my daughter's name. Gompy is just over the moon that I'm not using real names. So I go, yes, we are Susie's parents. And he's like, I know. He's like, for you guys, he gave us $30 store credit for these batteries. So I got this little guy, channel locks, which was on sale. And I got this big guy, because I didn't have any channel locks. I got a pretty good set of tools here. And now it's complete. So yeah, that guy, he's gay. I wouldn't have noticed it until he started getting more familiar with us. Then it came out that he seemed really polite, but he wasn't really overly effeminate. But I wouldn't have guessed that he was gay, and it doesn't bother me. I'm not one of these people. As long as they keep it to themselves, whatever you do, let's not hate so much. Let's try to be more tolerant. But yeah, the guy hooked us up, and it turns out he was like, "How are you guys doing?" He went to my daughter's wedding, so I had met this guy before, maybe. And I said, well, I'm doing good, aside from the back injury, but I said, I'm still making music with Gonti. And he started laughing and put his eyes down. And I said, do you know about that? And he goes, oh, I know about it. So Susie must have been like going to her job saying, my dad made us play for 12 hours, 16 hours straight.
Except she didn't smoke. It sounded like she smoked.
So that was really nice. Queeg is one of my daughter's nicknames. Queeg saved the day. She came through, and I definitely have to.
She doesn't even know it.
Huh?
I said she doesn't even know it.
I definitely have to. I'll probably make a video and send it to her. Mailbag. 4 hours later, what's in the mailbag with Petey? And we have. Bum, 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 bum. Isa, Asa, Usa. Oh. This is a 5400 mAh lithium ion battery, and the light's not coming on at all. But I have a power pack around here. I got another one right here, like this, which is fully charged. And I think I will spare you guys the agony of looking for oh no, here it is. I got this one. I'll put this over here. If this doesn't work, I'm going to be really disappointed. Oh, red light's on. I got this one. This was in the packaging, and this is a NIM. It got really hot when I charged it, which that's not supposed to happen. So I'm slow charging, and I'll still use it. This is supposed to be 4300 mAh, but when we went out, I used this, and I had charged this over a period of a few days. So it probably got like 16 hours of charging. Now, this ran for about 2 or 3 hours on the 500 milliamp draw of the NUX MG30, and it pooped out. And then I switched over to this lithium ion one. Now, I'm trying to kind of switch over and not use the the sealed lead acid batteries of the days of yore that I used to use for this. And I've got this, which is 18650s in here. There's 6 of them. And that recharges through the front of, with a micro USB. So I've never recharged this, but that would be used in tandem with these little, a buck. So it takes the 5 volts and bucks it up to 9. So, what's in the mailbag with Edie? We got Amazon, and we got Music Illy Pro Chrome tuners. Are these 6 in a row? Yeah, they're 6 in a row. These are for the semi-hollow body guitar that I just took delivery on. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, these are nice. These are nice tuners. I mean, I'll know how nice they are when I start using them, really, when I install them on the guitar. And the standard sizing is the sizing is 8.5 millimeter, the hole for a Strat, a standard like regular old Strat. The diameter of the hole in the neck. So in your headstock, there's 6 tuners in a row. And oh, look at that! There's a Music Elite pick. It looks like it's like a 1 millimeter. This is going to be forgotten. So yeah, that the locking tuners tend to be 10 millimeters. So that means that there's a deficit. They won't fit. So you take your old tuners out, all 6 of them, and then you carefully get a set of titanium drill bits that are sharp. And you can run the drill bit backwards to start the hole going in on both sides, and then turn it forwards and really carefully and really slowly go through each hole. Or you can use a tapered reamer. The tapered reamer is the method I'm going to be using when I install these. So that I'm probably going to film that process, even though I've never used the tapered reamer. And if I run into a thing where I'm like, I may very well use a combination of both. Like start the holes on both sides with the tapered reamer, and then remove the bulk of the material from the middle using the tapered reamer. So my idea for this guitar is to see this packaging opened. I'm going to do the modifications all at once. I'm waiting for the parts to arrive. When everything's arrived, then I'm going to do the guitar. So more than likely I'll be shooting video that day, so you can join me for that. I know this video was really long. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me again for Mailbag. Should we see how we're doing with this? It's taking a charge. It's already 2 charged. So hallelujah, we didn't get burned on the battery, and I'm a happy boy. See, the thing is, ideally, I would run this delay that I have, which is called a Moore Ocean Machine, which it gets more complicated. You know, you've got the Ocean Machine, then there's this like tap tempo accessory pedal that runs a 9-volt battery with it, which I guess I would just use an internal 9-volt on that. You have to pair it up with it. And then I run an expression pedal on the Ocean Machine. So it's like all of a sudden I'm bringing all this other stuff, and it's a bigger rig, and you need more batteries. If it's a 500 milliamp draw and you're playing all day into the night, it's significant. So you can't have too many of these battery packs. You know, and I'd like to get it down to, like, can one of these run all day on one of these things? You know, that would be great to just have 2. But then you always need a backup just in case, and blah, blah, blah. Ends up being a big mess. But typically, I would have the PA speakers, and then I have a third speaker. Now, what I realized the other day is do you like my Mead headband? I do. I really like that. And if you know, my real name is Leaf. So there you go. Leafer von Malmsteen. So somebody used to call me that. The new Peter K.
Right.
Huh?
Right.
Yeah. The new XMG30 has a pair of 1/4-inch outputs, and then there's a headphone output. Now I've got cabling, long cables that are 1/8 inch. So I can go 1/8 inch out of that and then use one of those headphone adapters, stereo into this little EQ that I built. It's a stereo 3-band EQ. It's got gain, bass, mid, and treble. And then out of that, into this amplifier, which is, the amp is built into a silverware service box. The speaker is a ceiling stereo speaker, but it's one speaker. It's got 2 separate panels. There's 2 sets of wires going into the cone. It's very weird. 2 crossovers built onto it, nice crossovers with transformer or coils and all that. And so there's tweeters and then this woofer, and it's a $170 speaker we got for $6. It was new in the box at Goodwill. So I built it into this silver service. This is the first amp I ever built that had internal batteries. So there's 4 sets of 4 batteries in it. It's like a real lot, like 24 batteries or something. And or maybe 16. And basically there's a 50 by 50 amp powering this speaker, and a master volume and a stereo 1/4-inch input. So I'm thinking I run an 1/8 inch cable 15 foot back into the EQ. The EQ sits next to the audio recorder, which sits next to the board. And then the output of that, I use what I call a magic cable, which is it's just a stereo 1/4-inch, 6.35 mil, out of this EQ and into the amp. And then I can have that center speaker effect where I push a little more. You know, have just a guitar speaker, like the idea of a monitor. So that's probably what the rig is going to evolve into for the next remote. Again, we've got a bass limiter pedal coming for Gomti, and we tried out the Boss AW3 Auto Wah. We tried out a Demeter Fat Control, which is a mid boost on the bass, and a Phase 45. So her bass pedal board is all of a sudden becoming significantly more. But we've got everything we need. I built the battery packs and did some of the wiring last night. All that's left to do is receive the limiter pedal, which is probably going to be like July 4th it's going to come. And then screw everything down to the board. So I'm thinking I'll probably build the board, do everything I got to do, and have it all ready for when that last pedal comes, I can just add it. So yeah, my rig, I'm going to be adding the Echo Box. Next time we play, I'm going to have the Echo Box and I'm going to have that center channel speaker. So on top of the subwoofer, there's going to be another speaker that has a 2 on it. And this is, you can see it in a lot of older videos. I've got a couple speaker cabinets that have 2s on them, but this is the one from a couple of seasons ago. So yeah, the rig is always different, it's always evolving, it's always changing. I'm going to be doing this guitar project with the semi-hollow body guitar, updating that, and I think more than likely when I do that work, I'll probably film some of that and share that with you guys. So look forward to that. I've got a bunch of more video to edit and share with you guys. But in the meantime, I like doing these where I just sit and run my mouth. And the mailbags are really, this is a lot of fun. But I got to tell you, it's not, this isn't a regular thing. You know, like I buy a guitar and then I got to buy all these parts for it. Or I'm got these pedal boards, so this stuff is coming in. And I'm going to try to do those mailbags, but eventually I'm going to stop ordering stuff. And the only thing that's coming in the mail is junk mail and bills. And that doesn't make for a very interesting video. So you guys take care of yourselves, try to stay cool. If you do have a pet which you're able to physically show it some sort of affection, hug your pets, and peace.